only know one person in my life who doesn't own a smartphone, and that would be my 77-year-old dad. He doesn't text, he doesn't use Facebook, he doesn't use Instagram, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what Snapchat is. But if I was a gambling person, I would probably bet that everyone watching here today has some sort of smartphone. And I'd like you to take a moment to think about how many times a day you actually reach for your phone and check it. We're going to get back to that statistic in a minute. My name is Jennifer McCready, and I am an admitted Candy Crush addict. Candy Crush, for those of you who don't know, it's a game, an app on your phone. You can play it through Facebook, and I'm always playing Candy Crush. It has gotten better over the past few months. I actually used to spend about $20 or $30 a month buying gold bars to level up, but I have stopped, and I've reduced that, but I do still play more than I should. And I could probably benefit from putting my phone down more than I do. And that's why today I would like to talk to you about the overuse of cell phones and how it can lead to an increase in anxiety, and why it is important for all of us to establish boundaries and establish phone-free time. So back to that statistic. Most people look at their phones every 15 minutes or less throughout the day, regardless of if they've received a notification on their phone. It has become such a habit to look at our phones that you probably don't even realize you're doing it. And according to a report on 60 Minutes by Anderson Cooper, Silicon Valley is engineering these phones, apps, and social media to get us and our families hooked on them. They're configuring these apps to keep us using them longer and coming back for more often, because they have figured out how our brains react to incentives and rewards. So, for example, Snapchat, they have a reward called a snap streak. So if I take Snapchat, for those of you who don't know, it's a social media app where you take a picture and you send it to somebody, or you take a picture of whatever, and then they send you a picture back. And if you keep that streak going of sending a picture back and forth each day, you get a notification by their name and points, and it shows how long your snap streak has been going. Now, this snap streak is causing teenager stress. For instance, my daughter actually told me that her friend's phone broke, and she's freaking out at school because she can't keep up her snap streak, so she's having to give other people her password to log into Snapchat just to keep up her streak, because she's so stressed out that she's going to lose her snap streak. These incentives and rewards, like the snap streak, they don't even have any value, but they trigger our brains to want more. And they also trigger our brains to keep us looking longer. We're staying there looking for those rewards. And the more we look at these apps, the more ads that we see, and the more money they make. There's also websites like Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest that have a continuous or infinite scroll. This infinite scroll, you know how when you're going through Facebook, it never seems to end? It is there because they're anticipating that you're going to want to keep looking for something better, looking longer, looking for something that's going to interest you. And it is proven that we are going to keep looking, because according to a 2012 article from Psychology Today, that infinite scroll is like a slot machine for our brains. It actually increases our dopamine or feel-good hormones to keep us coming back and going through that scroll. The anticipation of what's next is what's increasing those dopamine levels for our brain and getting us to keep scrolling on these websites. This technology, it's affecting our stress and anxiety levels. So when you put your phone down, some people might get anxious. Your anxiety levels increase. This increase in anxiety is an increase in your cortisol levels. Cortisol is a hormone. It's a stress hormone that it can increase your heart rate. It can increase your blood pressure. It can increase your anxiety. And it can even cause a dip in your mental performance. There was a 2015 study conducted on iPhone users, and it was published by the Journal of Computer-Mediated Communication. They concluded that iPhone users, when they were separated from their phone doing cognitive tasks, if there was a notification that came through on their phone and they were unable to access their phone, they actually reported feelings of unpleasantness and a peak in their stress level. Their stress levels were increased by this. So what is the antidote to this anxiety? The antidote is to actually pick up our phone and look at it. That's what relieves our anxiety and drops those cortisol levels. So it's a vicious cycle, because then when we go to put our phone down, our cortisol levels go right back up. We are a connected society, and I'm not asking you to give up your phone, because I don't want to give up my phone either. But there are steps that we can take to reduce our phone time and establish boundaries so that we can engage more with people around us and work to reduce our anxiety. Simple steps like leaving the phone somewhere in another room when you have dinner. Make the dinner table a phone-free zone. And while you're at it, put it on silent. Don't even put it on vibrate, because it's proven that the vibrate feature actually raises your cortisol level just like the ringer does. So put your phone in another room, or turn it off, or put it on silent. Another area is the bedroom. Kick that phone out of your bedroom. But I know some of you are going to say, but I use my phone as an alarm clock. Well, I'm going to tell you that Walmart has alarm clocks for under $10. So get yourself to Walmart and get an alarm clock and get that phone out of your bedroom. Another way you can reduce your anxiety is to schedule times throughout the day when you respond to your text messages and your emails or your phone calls, or carve out time an hour in the morning and an hour at night when you allow yourself to scroll endlessly through Facebook. Also, with some of those apps cluttering up your phone, you might have apps you don't even need anymore, but it's taking time up scrolling through your phone to find the apps you do use. Take the time to delete some of those apps that are not even being used. Speaking of apps, do you really need a notification for every single app on your phone? Do you need to be notified every time somebody repins one of your pins on Pinterest? No. Turn those notifications off. As you can see, there are studies that show that cell phone use can lead to an increase in our anxiety. It can increase our stress levels. We may feel attached to our phones, and we fear that we are missing out on something in our phone, when in actuality, we are missing out on our own lives because our noses are buried in our phones. I want you to consider this. Are you searching for incentives or rewards in these apps? Do you have a snap streak going and you're freaking out that you might lose out on your streak or something might happen to it? Do you feel anxious when your phone isn't accessible or you have to go plug it in because it's about to die? Or do you even feel like you constantly have to check your phone because something might come through and you don't want to miss it? If you can answer yes to any of these questions, for your sake and your family's sake, starting today, take one step to reducing the amount of time that you spend on your phone. Start with the dinner table. From now on, make that dinner table a phone-free zone, whether it's dinner with your family or a night out with friends. Leave it in your car, keep it in your purse, put it on silent, and leave your phone out of it. It's time for us to reconnect with the people around us and disconnect from our phones.